We know that people have been looking for answers beyond what is physical. And many people talk about the soul of man. And many say, well, we haven't seen it, we haven't found it. And interesting thing is the word soul. In Latin, we say that sun is sol, right? And in the Bible, we find that Jesus was called the Son of Man. So if you are using son and translate it into Latin, then that means soul of man. Well, it kind of like doesn't make sense if you start thinking about it. It doesn't make sense that the Bible would say that Jesus is the Son of Man. Because shouldn't it say Jesus is the Son of Men? I mean, why is it talking about one man? Something strange. And then why is he called the Son of a Man if he was in reality the Son of God, right? That doesn't make sense, but people just accept it because they go to church and they don't question anything, unless there is a hidden message being told to us. Son is really talking about the sun that is above our head. And if you translate that into Latin, then it's talking about the soul of man, individual, each individual person. So maybe when you look at the sun in the sky, you're really looking at the soul, your soul, and the collective soul of everyone. And also pay attention to everyone and everybody. See, everybody is a person, or it's an individual who hasn't realized, who hasn't become, hasn't understood yet who he really is. That's why there's a lot of people who come to the store, and when somebody's not doing what they want them to do, they say, and they pretend to have money, so they tell the guy, "Do you know who I am?" Right? And we all heard that. It's a funny trick. And you should never be asking people, "Do you know who I am?" If I were to go to the store and I want somebody to do what I want them to do, I would say, "Do you know that I know who I am?" So once again, do you know that I know who I am? See, that's powerful. To know thyself, to know who you are, that's to be. And if you know Spanish, even in Spanish it works. A being is called a ser. And the verb to be is ser o estar. Very interesting that even in Spanish, a being derives from the verb to be. So, the soul of man is the Christ. Who is the Christ? Each individual who drops one drop of blood over their intent. For example, I intend to bring the end of war. No more wars. I intend to bring love and kindness to all. Because in reality, that is what heaven means. It means a wonderful place where people don't have to work. Okay, so when you shed one little drop of your blood over an intent that comes from the heart and for the benefit of all, then you become the Christ. Now, usually we know that a man who is supposedly better than the others is a holy man, right? Now, pay attention. Is a holy man, a man that comes from the hall. When you go on a holiday, that's when you have a lot of fun because you are going on a holy day. Well, that's interesting. That sounds like you're going to the hall in the center of our flat earth, right? In the Bible, it is also talked about the Holy of Holies. So there are many halls in this world, but you want to get to the Holy of Holies. When you get rid of diseases, when you are happy, when you are all together, then you say, I am whole. Interesting, huh? I am whole. So it looks like the whole is really the place where the language, where the story wants us to get to. Also, in the old days, there was a religion called the Sol Invictus, and they worship the sun. And many religions have worshipped the sun before. And a curious thing is you got the soldiers, right? What is soldier? Soul dyer, right? A dyer for the soul for the sun, right? Soul equals sun. These are some things you can ponder, and I wish for humanity to get to the Holy of Holies, to change the world, to get rid of the injustice, the suffering. And we can do it. And we are doing it now. Thanks and love you all.